So guys, when you're shooting directly into the sun, do you get those nasty flares or ghosting in front of your lens and to your images? Some people love that. Yeah, they call it cinematic flares. But for me, I want my images to be clean as much as possible. So I'm gonna show you how to avoid that or minimize that or even removing that in this video. So guys, first thing, you need a camera. So mirrorless DSLR, compact, and also you need a sturdy, stable tripod. So you need these two. And of course, don't forget your thumb or fingers or anything that you can use to block the sun. So guys, because we can't go outside to shoot sunrise or sunset because of the lockdown and this COVID thing, I created a DIY sun on my desk just to show you a quick demo on how do you do this. So here's our miniature sun, and I'm just gonna bring up the lights a bit so you can see those there. That's flare. Sometimes you don't want that. I'm just gonna show you how to remove that, but just sliding in my index finger to the light. See, you get a cleaner image in doing that. But of course you need a tripod because you're doing multiple exposures in the same position, so minimizing any movement will help. So, cool way. So guys, we're now in Lightroom and these are the images that we're going to use. So these are very old images of mine. Yeah, I took it like 4 years ago, 2016. I used to shoot Nikon before, and now I'm shooting Sony, but yeah, it's not important. So yeah, I shot these first three using exposure bracketing. So I have 3 exposures here. This one is the overexposed, this is the well exposed, and this is the underexposed. And also our exposure with a finger thumbs down. And I've also added me. I like to have my images to have like human element in them. Yeah, it feels different when you have something in the middle or something. If you browse my images, you see a lot of me or Marvin standing or sitting in the middle. So guys, like what I've said earlier, you need a tripod to able to shoot something like this. So as you notice, I didn't move my camera placement. So I shot these first bracketed exposures using a tripod, and also I've added these two. So now we'll start editing the images. But before that, we're just gonna hide these because we don't really need them. Let's remove. So in order to merge these images seamlessly, we need to edit them very similar, like to match the colors, the contrast, the white balance. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. Click the auto first, and let's start from there. So I think this is really good right off the bat, but I don't really need that detail of the sky so much. So I'm just gonna edit the sky. That's pretty good, and don't forget correcting the lens issues. So that's good, and let's just gonna paste the settings from my previous image, which is this one, and let's see what. So this is much brighter, so we need to tone down the brightness a little bit. So I think that's looking good. So again, we need the sky in this frame, and we're just gonna put it in here. I think that's good. I think those are good. Oops. Yeah, that's good. And then let's paste this setting. A little bright. Yeah, that's perfect. So I think we're done with Lightroom. That's so fast, eh? We're just gonna export this to Photoshop. So guys, we're now in Photoshop, and these are the images that we've exported from Lightroom. So what we're gonna do now is just to copy these to the main frame. Main frame. It's funny. So let's copy this one. So we have 3 layers here. This is the first layer, which we're gonna use the sky. So let's rename that sky. And the second one is the finger layer. So this one, just gonna use the foreground. Let's just name it to foreground. And this is the human element that we're gonna add later to the merged version of these two. First things first, like what I was saying, you need a tripod, because for these to work, we need to have them aligned as much as possible. So we have a movement there, but it's super subtle. Maybe a wind or my tripod's not stable enough. But in order to fix that, but don't rely to this fix, because yeah, you basically need a tripod. That is a recommended, or it's a must thing. So we're gonna align the layers. So let's just use auto align, and Photoshop will auto align it. As you can see, it's done. Let's see how Photoshop managed to align it. So there's still some movement, but I think that is better. Yeah, as you can see, Photoshop aligned it, so you have to crop it manually later because you have those white areas at the edges. So that's fine. After aligning the layers, we're going to blend them together, but first thing, we need to hide the human element layer, like the me layer. And so basically we need this sky part and then the foreground part of this one. So we're just gonna mask this. So create a simple mask using the mask tool, and then using the graduated or gradient tool, and then be sure that you set your foreground color to black. So what it means, like if I paint this thing to black, it gets removed, and then you eventually see the bottom layer, like the sky. So we're just painting it out. So you can use that, but I suggest using the gradient tool for it, and then use this linear gradient tool, and then just have it down here. So as you can see, that's looking good. Because we've used tripod, you don't see like shakes or other stuff there. So yeah, that's super easy. So I think we're just gonna merge this to, like, you can call it new merged. So we're now going to add this layer to this merge layer. In order to do that, let's create a mask to the human element layer and then invert it. So inverting it using Control-I, that makes it invisible or hidden. But once you paint it using the paintbrush, and if you set your foreground color to white and paint it, it will magically be added again. So So as you notice that our human element layer, or the me layer, is brighter than our merge layer. So this is what I was saying before, that you need to match the color, the exposure, the white balance, the contrast before you export it to Photoshop. But this can be easily fixed using our Adobe Camera Raw filter. So just highlight your layer and then let's go to Adobe Camera filter. And I think we can make it even by underexposing it, maybe negative 0.40. Let's see, I think that's perfect. So yeah, we fixed that. So I think that's looking good. So we're just gonna merge it, the layers, like merge with me layer. Yeah, let's just do the final edits. So yeah, let's do the final edits in the camera raw filter. I think that's looking good. Let's just add contrast in, and then maybe add some vibrance, not too much. And then I use this, maybe add lessen the clarity so you can feel the like some Orton effect. Add some brightness, maybe tone down the highlights, and then you can bring back some details to the rocks, add some contrast, and duplicate this, and some details to those rocks. And also here, but that's too much. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's looking good. So again, you can add more post-processing stuff here. Maybe in another video, I'm going to show you how to do advanced post-processing techniques that I'm using on my images. It's too much. So yeah, let's just add a vignette to the image. Just reset that, and then it should be outside. Yeah, I think that's good. I think we're good with that. And then finally, it's just gonna crop it. I think I'm good. That's good. Yeah, I think we're good with that. So that's our final image, guys. So let's just do a quick before and after. So I've exported back again the unedited images to Photoshop, and this is the unedited and this is the edited version. So as you can see, it's cleaner, like we don't see any flares now. I think that's good. So guys, that's it. I hope you learned something or enjoyed my video, and if you like more of these like photography tutorials, landscapes, astrophotography, drone, aerial photography related stuff, subscribe to this channel, and also like me on Facebook. like my page on Facebook, and follow me on Instagram. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.